Hola, hola, bienvenidos. Welcome back to my channel. We are in the month of June. So you know what that means. Keep going with the sewing challenge. And I almost did not make it because, once again, I did not have the energy to get out a pattern and start sewing it. But once I started sewing it, I'm like, gosh, it's so easy. Ugh. It's such a daunting task to take out the pattern, depending what I have to do to the pattern, because I don't just go on and cut the pattern. I like to trace it so I can keep the original intact. Well, anyways, so I decided to work on one of the free Gertie charm patterns. I went with the Harlow pajamas. I know, I keep doing pajamas, but I just love a good lounge set, and I work from home. So this is the pattern we're working with, and it's so easy. The only hard part about this, I could say, is putting together the entire pattern pieces, as you'll see in the next clip. But other than that, it's such a breeze. So how about I go ahead and let you watch the whole thing, and then we can go ahead and review the pattern sample that I make. So let's do this. First up, we're going to go ahead and start attaching every single piece of paper. And I like to make sure that I got all of them correctly in line. And of course, we're going to just cut one side to attach it to the other piece of paper. At the bottom, you're going to find these little squares that give you indication on how to match each square. But also you want to make sure that you match the pattern lines so that way you know you're going to be cutting correctly. And this is where I say this is the hardest part for me. It's not hard, it's just very tedious, and you have to go back and forth, cut and glue. Well, I don't glue, I put a tape on there. So cut and tape, cut and tape. And you do waste a bit of tape on this, but also I try not to. So I only add the tape where I know it's gonna fold or I'm gonna cut, and I need to make sure that the pieces stay together. So I've, over the years, learned where exactly I need to add a piece of tape, but I try not to use too many. Now, this isn't my preferred method. Normally, I like the physical paper to arrive, but this one was free and I'll take it. Also, if you go on Etsy, most of the patterns there, they tend to sell them as a downloadable pattern, and they are a little cheaper than the physical paper, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I used to have a cutting board where you could just slice the paper in one go. I don't know what happened to it. I must have lost it. Now, here you could see that some of the pieces, they're not lighting up, but that's okay. It's the bottom of the pan, and normally that happens. I've never had an issue with it, so just keep doing. And ta-da! After a good 30 to an hour, I honestly don't remember, I am done. Now to trace the actual size that I'm going to require. Like I mentioned before, I do not like to cut into the original pattern just because, you know, if I were to then want to cut a different size, I still have the original pattern that I can go back to. And because I'm using fabric from my stash, I don't know if I'm going to have enough for the entire set, but I'm going to start off with the pants and go from there. If cutting was this quick and easy, I love watching this go in quick motion. Now this is the front top and that is the back, and they both fit. I'm excited. Okay, we're going to start off with the pants first. We are going to put them right sides together, the 4 panels, the front and the back, and we're going to go ahead and sew the side seams. Are we watching TV or are we listening to a podcast, music? What do you guys like to do when you're sewing? Now, I'm horrible at recording the entire thing, but here I am now doing the casing for the waistband. Again, I didn't want to go into too much detail like I do in the other videos because this pattern is free and I would love for you guys to go and get it and follow along if there is a YouTube video. Actually, hold on, let me check if there's one. And yes, there is one. Go ahead and type Gertie Patterns, Harlem Pajamas, YouTube, and it's gonna be the first one. And she is done. Quick, easy. It did take me about a day and a half to sew it. It took me about 30 minutes to an hour. I really can't tell because I was taking breaks in between to put together all the pieces. I opt out on doing the belt, but wrong. I think I'm gonna go back and get the pattern out and cut out the tie piece so I can sew it and have it properly made for this piece. You know, you can't really see the outfit, so come on over. So let's talk about it. Now, the pants, I love. Easy breezy, insert the waistband and they fit. I made them to my length and I absolutely love. Now the top, we can leave it with a tie on or we can remove it and make it casual. The other thing is I wish I did make the pleats go in a little bit more, but that, you know, you can't quite see that. I didn't put the trim that the pattern suggested, which is fine. I could have, but I decided to opt on that. And this look, I feel like you can style it in a very 70s way, or you can also give it a 1930s or just like a vintage look, 1940s. What do you guys think? I'm gonna link the pattern on my comments, so I would definitely encourage, if you're a beginner, give this a try. And there is no zippers, buttons that you have to deal with. I am so happy that I was able to finish my June pattern and off to the next. With that being said, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in my next video.